Welcome to Serving Up the D. Detroit Lions draft preview. That was cheesy.
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh. Well,
Draft time. Silly
that
season.
time of year again. It used to be
Rumors.
our most exciting time of year as Lions fans. It was draft time. It was the Super Bowl. Cheesy sports radio take.
Well, it's still exciting because we got 2 picks in the top 20 at the moment. And we need them now since our breakout star wide receiver decided to gamble.
What are you doing?
In the-
Literally, the NFL has one thing you can't do. You could rape, pillage, and murder, and you could still be playing in the same season. Just don't gamble on sports, especially don't gamble on the NFL. Like, Quintez Cephas, like, what are you doing, dude? You are barely hanging onto the roster, and you're fucking he ended his career. He's not getting signed. Like, he was barely hanging onto the roster. The guy goes out and makes bets on NFL games. Like, dude, you're done. Calvin Ridley's one thing because he's talented enough.
He's an elite talent.
He's going to get picked up again, at least to see if he can still hang. Quintez Cephas, you're done, dude. Like, I hope you won big.
There's a million of Quintez Cephases
you
out there
won
that can
big,
go out
'cause-
there and play special teams, maybe crack a lineup here and there, maybe get a few snaps, but yeah,
James,
not smart.
do I
Not smart.
do I
mean,
agree with the NFL's rule? Do I think that
no.
you should be allowed not to bet on games in the facility? Well, I mean, I know it's a rule. It's a stupid rule. Obviously, you can't bet on NFL games. Duh. But should JMO be suspended for what he did?
A game,
Yeah, maybe. I mean, he didn't bet on the NFL. Like, it's like you can't tell these guys they can't do anything. I'm mad that he did it because literally if you go to a facility, it's don't bet on football, especially don't gamble. Don't gamble on football. It's just frustrating that he did it. Like, you got to be stupid. Like, what are you doing? And then with the post, with the liking of Lamar and all of this other stuff he's done in this season, it's just like, I want him to work. You traded up for him. The guy has, one catch? It's hard.
One catch and one long reverse run last year. That was the
hard.
highlight.
It's hard to say good things about him right now because he's done nothing but bonehead things.
Now you're looking at he can practice and play. I think can he play in the preseason?
Yeah, he can practice. I don't know if he can probably play in the preseason. I read it, but it doesn't matter. He's gonna be. It's 6 games,
and then he can. And it's 4 weeks that he can't practice. He can practice 2 weeks. 2 weeks before he can come back, I guess. He can start practicing again, but still can't play.
Because the Lions can't start off like they did last year, and he was going to be. You would assume a key part of the offense. So now that's 6 games to start the year. They're going to be without him. Not great.
So does that change
No,
our whole draft
personally,
process?
they can't look at it that way.
Now?
They can't look at it that way.
I hope not.
You can't.
It doesn't seem like they are because they've known about this and they haven't really had any receivers in to visit.
I just think you can't you can't react to what happened there. I mean, he barely played last year, so it's not like they can't go out and do well without him.
They do probably need to sign a depth guy,
for
free
sure.
agent.
They gotta get somebody they think is good
like
enough, or even a rookie if they go out and draft somebody, but not draft them high. They don't need to change I had a feeling they're going to take a wide receiver somewhere in this draft anyways, like in the 3rd or 4th round or something. So just don't change that. Just make sure you do your homework, find the guy that you think can be a piece for this team, and that's the guy who they use.
Holmes has proven that he can do that. He found Cooper Kupp. He found Amon-Ra St.
Go
Brown.
out and find that guy.
Find that guy.
And
exactly.
That's it. But it's just stupid. When I saw that, I was so frustrated. Then I was running where it could be coaches involved. At first, I was like, oh, great. Here's our SOL moment. They were building something, and then it all comes crashing down on some gambling bullshit. But I'm glad it was just he wasn't gambling on the NFL, so he's going to be back. The other idiots gambling on NFL games, well, you get what you deserve there. Yeah,
you get what you get.
Some of those guys, I don't understand what you're doing. It is what it is. Let's move on to draft talk. Slightly got into it there with wide receivers. What would be your best case scenario for the Lions this Thursday? First round only. Don't. We're not talking about crazy.
Best case, what
Best
do I
case
want?
at
Crazy
6-18,
shit
or if they move a little bit. I mean, 6-18. We'll go with 6-18. 6-18. What would be your best case scenario?
Just
Six
straight
and
up
18. They
6 and
select
18.
both picks at those spots, though I don't think they will.
I don't either, but best case scenario, obviously, we're both on the same page, I think, on this. Somehow, some crazy way, Will Anderson falls to 6. Somebody gets quarterback. Everybody gets quarterback crazy, goes up, and people move up. And Will Anderson falls at 6.
And
18. Yeah, sure, kid. Whatever you say. 18, I'm a little different. I kind of wouldn't mind seeing either Osiris Torrance or one of the better linebackers on the board. That's where I stand on it. I don't want. I've seen tight ends mocked there. I've seen receivers mocked there. Bijan mocked there. I don't think Bijan will be there, but at 18,
because I don't even want to get in. I don't want him.
But those are my dream scenarios. It's Will Anderson somehow, some way slipping to 6.
That's the dream.
I highly doubt
happens.
I think Houston takes him.
I think both of the dream scenarios I have in my head are just not going to happen, but I'll throw out my best case the same as you. Will Anderson falls to 6. The Lions get him there. And then I think a guy like Porter at 18, which would be another guy who has to fall, I think, a little bit to get to 18. So they get corner help and they get the defensive line. Like they do what they need to do, what I think they need to do. Problem is,
I think
they're both probably not going to be there. We'll be completely wrong. They'll take a corner at 6. I'll be pissed. They'll draft Bijan at 18, and I'll be pissed.
Draft who at 18?
They'll take Bijan at 18, and I'll be pissed. And that'll be my night. It'll be a corner at 6, mad, and a running back at 18, mad. I'm hoping I'm completely wrong.
I hope I'm wrong too. I mean, I hope you're wrong, but
I think
that is the nightmare.
I think
scenario. The corner at 6. I think they try to get up to 3.
I think they trade, but I think it's the 18th pick that moves. They move up somehow. They package things and they move up from 18. I think they pick at 6, and then I think they go up to get somebody they want, either a defensive lineman, whatever they don't do at 6. If they take a corner at 6, I think they move 18 up to try and grab like Nolan Smith or somebody up higher, packaging a second and they're 18 or whatever to move up.
See, now Nolan Smith intrigues me a lot. I think he could be a Micah Parsons type on this defense if they use him that way.
I think, he's got a lot.
If the Lions can use him correctly. I mean, those pieces that you can move around and do stuff with, you have to be able to use that piece like a chess piece.
He's fast. He can fly.
I don't know that Aaron Glenn does that kind of stuff.
No.
I think it's still pressure with the front 4.
Okay, yeah. I just don't want a corner at 6. That's the one thing I don't want is a corner at 6.
My scenario that I've seen a lot with Stroud allegedly falling is what happens if Stroud and Jalen Carter available.
I'm taking Stroud. Carter with the question marks and stuff. Again, I was on the Carter thing, but now I'm kind of off the Carter thing because I think this draft goes. The 2 quarterbacks I think are really good are Young and Stroud, and then it's Will Anderson. And then everybody else I think falls into a giant pot, and you could stir it up and you can pull names. I think Jalen Carter, like you said, Smith, I think the corners, they all kind of fall in that pot after those first 3 guys. And if the draft shakes up and you've got the chance to draft Stroud or Carter and you don't take Stroud, okay, well, this gets to... I had this written down on the thing as a little bit later for our show. If Stroud is there at 6 and Will Anderson's gone, so it's like you said, it's Stroud or Carter or anybody else, are you passing on... Can you pass on Stroud? Can you do it? I can't. Personally, I'm taking him. I'm not going to have what we had with Okudah, where we look back in 3 years and we go, oh, motherfucker, we could have had Justin Herbert. But no, we had Okudah, and now we're sitting there going, oh, great. Can we pass on Stroud and in 3 years from now go, oh, we took Jalen Carter, he got fat, lazy, played half of the snaps, and whoever gets Stroud, the Raiders get him at 7 or wherever he goes next, they're sitting pretty with a guy who's in the Pro Bowl.
See, in that scenario, I'm probably with you. I'd take Stroud, and then I'd try to move up and get Kalijah Cansey or another big body for the defensive line, and that's it in that scenario. But that's just my thinking.
I just think
they gotta go defensive line
at some point. But if Stroud falls to 6, you can't pass on him. The guy was a top 2 pick a month and a half ago. If somehow he falls, which I think is total crap, I don't think he's going to. But if somehow he did fall to 6, you can't pass on him. You can't. Everybody's, it's this quarter. Last year's QB class was better. This year's going to be better than that. Next year's is going to be better.
Everybody
do it every
says that,
single
but it never
year.
is.
And Stroud's test scores weren't good, and da 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 da. Who cares?
Tape looks pretty good.
Yeah, and
Georgia game looks pretty good.
I saw there was a comp for him and Goff. Stroud's comp was Goff. I'm like, okay, well, Goff with what? Did we switch Goff's legs? Like, because Stroud can move when he wants to. Goff can't move.
And Stroud can make a deep throw, too.
And Stroud, exactly. They're not. You can't pass on them. Like I said, we're going to be kicking ourselves in 3 years if he's there and they pass on him. It's Justin Herbert all over again.
I can't imagine the number of fuck texts I'm going to get from you if Stroud's there and they pass on him.
And if Will Anderson's there and they take him over, I'm fine with that. Obviously, there's no scenario in the world where C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson both fall to 6. There's none. And unless somebody does something completely fucking crazy.
Well, there's rumors that Houston also likes Tyree Wilson a lot, so they could take Tyree Wilson. Then you get people going quarterback crazy.
There's no way that Seattle doesn't take
3,
Anderson then.
4, unless they trade out of that. Somebody trades up to get a quarterback.
So what, we're going to have 4 quarterbacks, and Houston are the one team that don't take one. They take Tyree, and then the Lions have a choice of I'll be fucking over them. I'll be happy. Because if you put Will Anderson
I'd be over the moon.
Team,
I'm just saying.
I mean, if Houston doesn't take Stroud at 2, trade scenario, why don't the Lions immediately, the second they don't take Stroud at 2 and they take a defensive player, call them and say, hey, 12, we'll give you 6. That gets them back in the quarterback lottery. We'll take 12, 33, and 65, I believe. And on the calculated draft chart, that's pretty damn close to being a full good trade. So it's equal value. So we would give up 6, get 12, 33, and 65. So now we get...
Hold on, I'm going to plug my computer in before it dies.
He's going to plug in his computer because this is what you call pod prep. So anyways, I would say if they moved back to 12, they could draft their defensive lineman there. They could get a Nolan Smith. They could get their corner at 18. They could load up. They could get a running back in the second round. At that point, the roster, you could really build it out that way. I don't know. Just an idea. If they don't take the quarterback at 2, get on the phone, see if you can make business with Houston to get 12, swap 12 for 6, and there's extra picks. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. Bum, 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 bum. This is what happens when you go live and you don't record it. You get dead laptops. All right. We will return in a minute. going. And we are back. Look at that.
we're
back. Mid-trade talk NFL draft.
So they get 23 whatever now.
Yeah, so I broke it down, and I'll break it down quickly again. So the Lions would trade 6 for 12, get 33 and 65. So they could give Houston the quarterback, get back into the quarterback sweepstakes at 6. Lions would then be able to take a defensive lineman at 12 and a corner at 18 or flip-flop. And then also get a wide receiver or something in the second round or a running back at that point because they would have the extra pick.
Tight end, whatever they need.
Whatever you need. They could build out the roster better. Obviously, this has to be Houston playing ball, but you call them, you say, hey, we'll make the swap if the guy who at pick 5 happens. If the guy you still want is there, the quarterback, you can swap with us. We'll get those picks and boom, bada bing, bada boom. I think it's a good deal. I mean, like I said, I did it on the calculator and it works.
Today.
And the Lions get out of it. Because at that point, if Anderson's gone and Stroud's gone, like at 6, who are you taking? It doesn't really, like I said, you throw everybody in a pot and pull out a name. Nobody's jumping off the screen.
Because you know they're not gambling on Carter at this point. So.
No. So, yeah, at that point, you try and maybe get out of that.
Unless somehow Tyree Wilson slides in that scenario,
yeah, exactly.
But I don't even.
Well, there's got to be. I think Carter and Wilson are those 2 next guys. I think it's on defense. Anderson alone.
3.
I think Tyree and Carter are the next, right below.
It's
They're not
3,
far off, but right below. And then everybody else is there.
Yeah, it's Anderson and Wilson at this point. I'd be willing to take. I just don't see the Lions gambling on Carter after the JMO thing.
Yeah, he is. It just sucks because the talent is there. He could be a superstar.
He's going to go somewhere. He's going to go somewhere and be an all-pro.
Yeah, or he could be a complete.
Philly will take him and he'll be unbelievable there.
Yeah. But we say that about the Lions, but the Lions are supposed to have the culture. That's another disappointing thing about this JMO thing. All the culture the Lions were building, and then this shit happens. It clearly wasn't just a one guy either. This was a bunch of guys and staffers and shit. Like that's bad culture.
Yeah, how does the people on the staff not understand the rules?
Well, they do. I think they do. I think they thought they could make money, skirt the system. They're probably low-level staffers. They're probably whatever guys making whatever, trying to make some money with, and the NFL guys are doing it, and they're like, "Oh, these NFL guys are doing it."
How are they? How's the NFL going to find out? Nobody will know.
It's just silliness.
Let me use this Detroit Lion issued laptop.
Silly.
Or iPad, whatever the fuck it was.
Silly. But yeah, no, you gotta either get in the sweepstakes for Will Anderson. Otherwise, otherwise it's just move down. Otherwise it's just try and trade and get as many picks as possible. I know we all want to do that. That's what everybody says. Let's just trade back. Everybody build picks, and it never happens.
Well, you got to have a partner to trade back to, and lots of times no one's willing to do it. So,
but again, I think the Lions are moving 18. I think they're trying to move up. I think they'll take whoever at 6. I think they have a guy. I think they have 2 guys. It's going to either be a corner, or it's going to be one of those names, the big names, if they fall. And then at 18, they do whatever they didn't do at 6. They move 18 and something. They package something to move up back into 11, 12 territory, and they get the corner they want there or the defensive lineman there.
So if you're the Lions, would you trade up to 3 before the draft, or
I think Arizona's not going to play ball until Thursday night. They're going to wait for the best, because I think on Thursday night they probably get the best package. Because
that's true.
Well, maybe not, depending on who goes 1-2. If Young goes 1, which I think we all assume is going to happen, if Houston doesn't take a quarterback, I think the Cardinals move that pick. Because now the Cardinals have everybody wanting the second best quarterback. Or a guy like Anthony Richardson,
whoever they think
or Stroud.
That is.
They have the whole kit and caboodle is on the table at 3. Now, if it does go Young, Stroud, or Young, whoever, quarterback, now the Cards are sitting in a less spot where teams might not want to move up. Then the Colts might say, "Oh, we don't need to move up." because
Yeah, we'll get
we'll
Levis
get
or
whoever
Richardson.
at 4 because
And they allegedly like them. There's people in the building that like Levis. There's people that like Richardson. There's even people that like Hendon Hooker there. So
and I know everybody keeps saying the Raiders want a quarterback. Do they really?
they just signed Jimmy
Yeah, I
G.
know,
Why,
but he's only what?
what do they need a
That's not a
quarterback?
long-term thing.
But how good are they going to be with him
I think the teams that
this
need
year?
quarterbacks are the Titans at 11, which they don't have a lot to give to get up there. I mean, they're gonna have to give up the next century of first-round picks to move up there from 11.
Yeah,
There's not a
I
whole
don't
lot of
know.
jumping up. I don't know. We'll see. It's Seattle's another big one. What do they do? Their quarterback situation's set for next year, but it's not set for the long term. They could, if a guy like Stroud falls to them, they might say, "Well, fuck it, we're taking him," because they can't pass on him. I mean, I'd be pissed if I was a Seattle fan and Stroud somehow was sitting at 5 and they passed on him.
yeah, same.
Yeah, I'd say it's going to be an interesting night.
The Commanders, the Patriots, are they all set on quarterbacks? I mean,
Well, I mean,
Slinging Sammy
Slinging
Howell
Sammy,
and Mac Jones.
well, and then
I mean, Mac Jones kind of got screwed without having a coordinator last year, but
yeah, I wouldn't give up on him.
there's
just
also
yet.
been a lot of rumors going around about the Vikings wanting to move up and take a quarterback too.
Why? I mean, they're a team that's built to try and win right now. Are they that worried about the Lions?
Maybe.
Hey, they're so worried about it. They're like, "I'll give the Lions this season. We're going to look forward." I don't know.
I don't know.
I think that it's going to come down to what happens at 2 for the Lions. And I think at 2, if Houston doesn't take the quarterback and they go the defensive route, they got to take Will Anderson then, right?
Or they could take Tyree Wilson.
How do you pass on Will Anderson? I mean, I just don't. I like Tyree. I think he's a good player, but I don't know how you.
Well,
pass
who's
on
the
Will
guy
Anderson.
at Danico Allen? Is it Danico Allen? Is that the guy's name? That's the coach.
Oh yeah,
The guy that came from
not the former Michigan State.
yeah,
Yeah, no, yeah. So, but yeah, I get what you're saying, but
Danico's right.
Yeah.
He built that defense in San Francisco with similar guys to Tyree Wilson.
Do you
They're all
pass
big,
on Will
big,
Anderson?
long guys though. They're not the Von Miller edge bendy guys. You know,
that's what we need.
it is what we need.
Sit him
And that's why-
Aiden on one side, Will
that's
Anderson
why-
on the other.
That's why if you
Go
really
get
love Nolan
quarterbacks.
Smith, can Nolan Smith be that Von Miller type?
Well, but I'm not willing to do that at 6. They got to.
Why
That's
not?
where you move up. Because I just think at 6 there's going to be,
You
or
know-
we move back. Like I just want to try and move out.
Or just get the guy,
Or yeah,
get the next best guy that you like. If you like Nolan Smith,
I just think
then
that's where
take him
if
at
they do
6.
go with the best guy, I think it's going to be a corner in that spot. I think they think I don't know. If I knew, I'd be getting paid a lot of money. But I just fucking man.
I guess they have
Jalen Carter
options.
fucked everything up by being a dipshit.
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
Otherwise, oh man, it'll be interesting. Thursday night will be interesting.
Or Stroud falls to 6.
Stroud
and
falls to
Lions
6,
take-
and the Lions
take a
don't
quarterback.
take him. I swear to God, we're gonna
Then they
rue
take
the day they didn't.
They
do
take
that.
Witherspoon at 6 if Stroud and Carter on the board.
And it's
Can you fucking
it's
imagine?
Okuda Herbert all over again.
Yeah.
I just that it's good. That'll happen. We're not going to draft a corner, and he's not going to turn out to be sauce. You know it.
Why would you take,
I would never
Corner
take a
for
corner in the
Big
top
Ten.
10. I don't give a shit. I don't care what.
especially a Big Ten
don't
corner
care-
that faces no quarterbacks?
Yeah, no. The top 10 is for offensive linemen, quarterbacks, and defensive linemen, and that's it. You don't draft anybody else in the top 10 ever, unless you don't want to win. You draft your quarterback if he's a stud, and stud offensive and defensive linemen, and that's it. You don't touch anybody else in the top 10. I don't care. That would be my draft philosophy till the day I died. Would be defensive lineman, offensive lineman, and quarterback. Nothing else. Those are your only picks you make when you're inside the top 10. You take the best available of one of each of them.
What if they go outside the box and take Skoronski?
I mean, this year, he's good. But is he a top 10? I mean, I wouldn't hate it. I would like that better than a corner.
I would too.
Because at least he's could play right away. If you move
him at guard. Around, you can play him at guard this year. You can let Decker walk in a year or two.
You got to back up in case somebody gets hurt.
Yeah,
that's good. I'm fine with
somebody
again,
can
I'm fine
move outside.
With that.
Plays multiple positions.
More fine with that.
Plays multiple positions. Yeah, for sure.
Just not a corner. Not a corner. I'm sorry to all the cornerbacks out there, but it's not. I'm not taking you in the top 10. I can't.
You're right there. You're right there with running backs, though, man. You just don't do it.
Nope. Sports Center.
Jets acquired Aaron Rodgers. Breaking news.
Shut up. Is that for real?
No, seriously, for real. ESPN.
Whoa.
Jets are finalizing a trade for Aaron Rodgers. Jets get Aaron Rodgers, pick number 15, a 2023 fifth-round pick.
Whoa. Rewind. The Jets get Aaron Rodgers.
Pick number 15.
And Green Bay's pick number 15.
A 2023 fifth-round pick 170. Packers get pick number 13. A 2023 second-round pick, number 42 this year. A sixth-round pick number 207. A conditional 2024 second-round pick that becomes a first if Aaron Rodgers plays 65% of the plays.
Okay, whoa. So it's not years, it's plays? Let's break it. I just pulled it up. Okay. So the Jets... Green Bay gets 1342. Who cares about that late round shit? Second round pick that can become a first. It doesn't. Where'd you see all the details? I don't see the details. What the fuck? Schefter. Oh, fucking Christ. Pelissaro, what are you good for? Okay, Shefty, where are you? I got Rap Sheet, Shefty. Skip for now. Fuck. It doesn't say seasons.
This is right on ESPN's breaking news thing.
Plays 65% of the plays. So if he plays 60, well, he's going to play 65% of plays this coming year. So they're going to get They're going to get a first out of it. Next year's first. They're going to get the Jets next year's first.
Correct.
Unless he blows out his ACL in like week 1.
Correct. And then it's a second round pick.
Wow. So the Jets get nothing if he says 1 year and so he could play 16 weeks and then retire, and the Jets still have to give up that first round pick. They get nothing in case he retires. Wow. So they're going all in for this year.
In the AFC.
In that
the loaded AFC
division too alone, not even just the whole AFC. That division's tough.
Wow.
And Bam Margera is on the run from police, per the Daily Loud.
Again. So it's Monday.
Wow. Okay. So Aaron Rodgers to the AFC East. That changes the draft.
I was just scrolling through the draft order going, well, the Jets could actually use a quarterback too, you know.
Not anymore.
Well, they still could. But
that changes. The Packers now move from 15 to 13, which isn't much, but it's a spot. Wow.
Yeah.
I can't believe they didn't get any, out from him saying he retires if it doesn't go. Say the Jets, go only
Packers weren't going to get
9-8 or something, and it doesn't work out. And he goes, fuck it, I'm retiring, and the Jets get nothing. They just lose that pick next year.
Pack just weren't going to give him that.
They must have got something from Aaron Rodgers that said, hey, I'm not going to retire after one season. You'd have to assume. I would at least assume they've gotten some kind of I'll play 2 years for sure. After that, who knows, but...
Okay, and you're going to trust Aaron Rodgers?
No, I know. He's going to go into some fucking hole in the ground, smoke some peyote, and fucking get fucking high, and roll around in some dark cave and come out and be like, I'm going to play hockey. Fuck, who knows what that... I don't know. That division's going to be... It's going to be interesting AFC now. The AFC got tougher. I mean, say what you want about Aaron Rodgers. The Jets were decent last year. with just
They've
horrible
got good young
quarterback play.
receivers. They've got some good young receivers. They've got the offensive line. They've got the running back. I mean,
Their
they've
defense
got
is awesome.
and their defense is stellar. I mean, Sauce Gardner.
So if they go out and their defense plays close to anything they did last year, and with Aaron Rodgers on offense, that team's a lot. That
I
man,
mean,
that
they were
AFC
they
just
were
got a lot more difficult.
they were formidable with Mike White as their
Yeah.
quarterbacks.
Aaron Rodgers is supposed to be a game manager,
Yeah,
and they'll be 10, 11 wins.
right.
I mean, it might take 12 wins just to make the fucking playoffs. That AFC is just stacked.
Yeah, that's a lot of quarterback talent. I'm glad we're in the NFC.
Yeah, and then who knows what's going on with Lamar. If Lamar goes back to Baltimore, they automatically become a player in the game again, or he goes to another
Lamar's-
NFC team.
Lamar's not going to have a choice. He's going back to Baltimore.
I think so, unless somebody.
And Baltimore signed OBJ. That was for Lamar. That wasn't, and paid him what they paid him for Lamar. It wasn't a sweetheart deal for OBJ just because.
Well, that was wild and breaking news. Doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo. We even got the sound effects. ESPN's gonna fucking copyright
did.
our ass. Boom.
I know. Usually I have my phone on fucking vibrate too.
We got the sound effect and all. Yeah, so on that note, I don't have much else. We'll fucking wrap her in till we post our fuck podcast when they do a bunch of shit we
Yeah.
don't like.
One of these years we'll do a live draft show.
Yeah.
That would be
When they
entertaining
draft
as
the
hell,
corner and I break my computer. The show ends abruptly.
kind of like today when you forget to plug it in.
All right.
Technical
You got anything
difficulties.
else?
A couple of guys decommitted, or not, didn't decommit, but a couple of Michigan starters hit the transfer portal today.
Basketball or football?
Football. R.J. Moten, safety, and A.J. Henning.
Well, there's that for you, folks.
I'm sure their writing was on the wall that they weren't going to play.
That's usually what happens at this point. When people transfer now, it's listen,
You
son.
transfer after the spring game. It's like
You found out that you're not the guy who's starting, or you're not even the
Yeah.
second on the depth chart. You listen.
you're moving down.
Your
the
best
depth chart,
bet is
not
to
up.
head on over to Western.
But basketball did get a decommitment too, I believe, or somebody hit the portal from there too. Whoever Glenn, somebody.
Who's got it better?
Whew, nobody.
Well, right now they're probably going to win the Big Ten again in football. So we'll get to that at a later
Pretty
date.
easily, but
Yeah, when you
They're the
play
favorite.
the Windsor Pilots Club and the librarians from wherever.
yeah, their schedule got easier from last year. So yeah, and ours, Michigan State only has the second toughest in the country.
Yeah, that Washington game's going to be fun.
No, it's not.
All right, we'll get into that later. All right, post-draft
All right,
show.
brother.
We'll see what happens. Hopefully,
See you next Monday.
later.
Serving up the D.
Serving it up.
See ya.
Later.